Okay, 1984, Skynet. Skynet sends Terminator in the past to kill Sarah Connor. In this timeline, she would already have met John Connor's dad at some point, which will lead to this John Connor. Okay, the minute they start fucking with the time, they're not really fucking with time. They're jumping dimensions. They're jumping universes. This has already created a parallel 1984. This one still happens and plays out the way it does. Always. This creates this one where Sarah and Kyle are John's parents. Which means Skynet happens sooner because they now have the Terminator arm in this one. So people are going to be creating Skynet sooner. So then this is our Terminator 2 timeline. Terminator 2 timeline. Or Terminator 2 universe. Because that's what happened. It creates a universe on its own. Which means either the war against Skynet lasts longer or John Connor is younger here. Really doesn't matter though. Because this John Connor knows, because of his mother telling him the stories, that Kyle Reese is his dad. So when he meets someone named Kyle Reese, he sends him back. This one knows. This one didn't know. This one just sent someone that was his friend that was a good soldier. Sends him back. That creates this universe. This one, this John knows Kyle is his dad, so sends him back because he wants to be born. Boom. Sends him back. Which means when this happens, they end up destroying Skynet, this version, sooner. Which creates yet another parallel universe. Doing this stops Skynet. But it can't because they're still here. Terminator is still there. By doing this, we create a timeline that almost goes back to this one. Kind of. Because now, without Skynet being created here, Skynet gets created later on. So we'll put Skynet here. This doesn't happen. So without that, Skynet's not created here. Skynet is now created here. Which puts us in another universe where Skynet happens later. John Connor knows Kyle's his dad, sends him back. Which sort of brings us back to this one. Because the arm is always found. And if the arm's always found, you're always going to have this. And if you have this, and you stop that, then you have this. But if you don't have this, you've got that. Which, long story short, Terminator movies really aren't about time travel as much as they are dimension hopping. They create pocket parallel universes and they kind of keep just bopping around back and forth between them. Don't ask me for any more specifics because it's both more and less confusing than I figured it was actually going to be. They just they're in this loop. Skynet's always going to get created because let's face it, anybody that has a smartphone, Skynet's going to get created. It's going to happen. But when is up for a little debate. And if he knows Kyle Reese's father or not. In this one it's not, which is like the original. Like anyone that grew up in the 80s with the DC Comics, they did a lot of stuff with like parallel universes. I wasn't a big fan of it, but you know, there would be Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 5. You know, in one reality, Batman would be a bad guy, and another one, Superman was an enemy, and then you just branched out. It was kind of like this. Like, this would be the Justice League or whatever, and then you branch out and have like one Earth. This one, they were bad guys, and then this one of them was a bad guy, but then in this one got killed, and then here this one wasn't. And before you knew it, it was a huge clusterfuck, and I don't know, it's just a lot of what ifs, and that's what we're dealing with here, so take that as you will.